This live will be conducted nature first. Welcome to my sounds in my yard, nature's therapy. And the other part will be footage, a demonstration to bring awareness and update on what's going on in the world with trafficking, MK Ultra, the children, etc. Good morning from ATL. Welcome to my live. I'm waiting on these birds to chirp. This is the first half of my live. We have been getting plenty of rain lately. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the first half of my live. I'm Factz from ATL. I'm in my yard getting some of this nature's therapy. This is always the first part of my live, nature. Hopefully soon I'll be able to show you all the growth of our sweet potatoes, watermelon, cucumber, bell peppers, and tomatoes. I think I named them all. We fairly new to gardening, my son and I. I believe we will prosper. And to those coming across my live, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. And I want to bless you with, may God bless you with prosperity in all areas of your life. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Whoever is talking about show something, this is a face of this live. I may show my garden a little bit, but it hasn't grown since the last time I shown it. However, I don't get enough people on here yet. I don't feel the need to show my face. And because there's so many trolls and people have become something else, like people literally be trying to find out where you are. You know, I'm talking about them people who say these cases it has nothing to do with race. I've been seeing racist comments on Facebook, so that's another reason I decide I'm not going to show my face. If you want to see my face, go into my content. My content has my face. My face right here on the screen. Use your imagination. I do not have to turn the camera on me. Some days I do, some days I don't. If I don't get a lot of people on here, I don't need to show my face. If you have came across my platform, you have heard my poetry, you have heard my meaningful, essential discussions on what's going on in the world, about mental health, about self-love, about relationships. I talk about all the things, and I do poetry. I'm a single mother. I've been a child care teacher. I've been a cashier. I've been a cook. I've been the head housekeeper at CNN. I wore many hats. But if you want to know about me, it's in my content. I don't have to show my face. And I'm not a bra. I'm a female. I'm a queen. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm not a bra. I don't even play with my sons like that. Don't call me bra. See, somebody trying to get me riled up. I'm out here for nature. Nature is mindfulness. If you don't know what mindfulness is, look up mindfulness. So you disturbing the peace. So I'm going to be quiet for you. Let's go my vibe. Good morning, good morning. I'm becoming one with nature. Nature is therapy. Nature is mindfulness, meditation. from Atlanta. The first part of this live is nature, meditation, mindfulness. Good morning from Atlanta, Georgia. Nature is therapy. Do you believe the Nolan Wells case is red rum? Look at that word backwards if you don't know what red rum means. Do you agree the Nolan Wells case is red rum? Spell that backwards. Nature is therapy. Karaoke is therapy. Welcome to my live. Help your children and don't let them fall by the side of the road. Teach them to love one another. If it might find a place in their heart, because Jesus is love. He won't let you down. You gotta walk on through temptation. Father, help your children and don't let them fall by the side of the road. And teach them to love one another. Where heaven might find a place in their heart. Jesus is love. He won't let you down. You gotta walk on through temptation. Do you agree? The Nolan Wells case is red wrong. Now spell that backwards. Preparation, transformation before promotion. Preparation, transformation before promotion. The first part of this live is nature. Nature is therapy. Karaoke is therapy. I'm Factz out of Atlanta, Georgia. Do you agree the Nolan Wells case is read wrong? Now spell that backwards for those who don't know. Thank you for coming across my platform. Thank you for the votes. Thank you for the likes. I'm going to do a poem. If you haven't heard my poems, it's in my content. And I'm also going to play some footage in the second part of this live to bring awareness. I always check out the description when you come into someone's live. That way, you will know what the live is about. You see, most of my lives will be faceless until I get my people, my real supporters on here that come often. I strive to be consistent in whatever my life is. I'm showing up for myself. That's what consistency is about. When the power of love beats the love of power, the world will know peace. When the power of love beats the love of power, the world will know peace. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. You saw me. You saw me when I was weak. At times I could not sleep. You saw me. You saw me at my low, feeling as if I could not sew. Yes, you saw me from the start, even though you had no heart. You saw me with no muse, had no idea I was abused. You saw me, still confused, I took your hand. Without wisdom, thought you understand. You saw me, or did you see you? Did you see an opportunity? You know you gave me much foolery. You saw me, naive, broken, and blind. Psychological issues, how could I dish you this time? You saw me. Did you see you, or those things you used to do? Loose, obtuse, who? You saw me. Vulnerable, hostile, yet strong. I see you, someone, something, or somebody that I can lean on. Mister had bling on, but no ring on. So I turned my game on. Oh, I think I'm in love with Mr. Wrong. Just might get my swerve on. You saw me. Friends with benefits because I can't or won't leave him alone. Danger zone, days, purple haze. God, please, 1 Corinthians 10:13 me. This slate or state I cannot break. You see me now, calling out for help? Please don't let us drown. You saw me. Poem. But I reside. Where I reside, there's money for war, little room for inmates. Officers escape convictions. Parents are in suspension. Men are in lack. You best watch your back. And don't let me start with morals. You might find yourself under attack. Where I reside, People sell their body and soul for crack or stacks. The health system push pills and surgery. Will we ever heal for real? Where I reside, everyone claims to be a Christian or some type of religion. These same religious people take you for a ride. No guilt, no shame. People just going insane. I ask you, is our living in vain? Where I reside, the government is a pimp. Human beings go missing. Food has become hazardous and or minimal. CDC, CPS is a mess. Situations that should shock the nation. Where are the children? Gone, unlike inflation. Poem. And that was the first part of where I reside. All this is allegedly. Where I reside. Come where I'm from, ladies are taken for granted, unappreciated, undervalued, and manipulated. Likewise, men value is conditional, earned through his ability to provide, achieve, and secure resources, e.g., income status. Men must constantly prove their worth. Then, if he can't, she tells him it won't work. Where I reside, pay isn't enough to support your family. Insufficient forms of cash, compensation, unemployed, disenraged. They call us lazy and enraged. Well, girls just want to have fun before their life is done. Are we done in by the system? The devil is a lie. God is willing. Jesus will and have and can turn those tables. I reside. We recognize the tides, the regular alternating rise and fall, the gravitational pull. Celebrities are individuals, A-list. I will not speak on your name. Famous or not, you get a spot or the blame. Dismissed. Reject God, neglect, disrespect, refuse to repent. Wicked, duplicate, reciprocate, initiate. Where I reside, they conceal, camouflage, withhold. Rise up, America. You've been sold. Poem. Poetry, poetry is therapy. That's my therapy. I'm going to take a pause before the second half of this live, and it will be a demonstration and or footage content I do not own a right to. So I've taken a 5 to 10 minute break, and I'll be coming back with that. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for liking the live. I'm Factz from Atlanta. And thank you for those that voted. I really appreciate it. I do not own the rights to this content. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This content is solely used to bring awareness and to educate. All this is allegedly. This content is used for educational and entertainment purposes only. I do not own the rights to this content and or this demonstration I'm about to share. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit education or personal use tips. The balance in favor of fair use. I do not own the right to this content. Okay, let's go with it.
I received today is a monumental document in more ways than one. But it is a very, very important piece of America's history, and it will shape America's future in ways that will make us a more honorable, more successful, and more ethical country. What this committee learned, I would like to review today with a little more detail than Dr. Fraser said, because I think it must be engraved on our national memory. Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. The goal was to understand the effects of radiation exposure on the human body. While most of the tests were ethical by any standards, some were unethical, not only by today's standards, but by the standards of the time in which they were conducted. They failed both the test of our national values and the test of humanity. Informed consent means your doctor tells you the risk of the treatment you are about to undergo. In too many cases, informed consent was withheld. Americans were kept in the dark about the effects of what was being done to them. The deception extended beyond the test subjects themselves to encompass their families and the American people as a whole. For these experiments were kept secret, and they were shrouded not for a compelling reason of national security, but for the simple fear of embarrassment. And that was wrong. So today, on behalf of another generation of American leaders and another generation of American citizens, the United States of America offers a sincere apology to those of our citizens who were subjected to these experiments, to their families, and to their communities. When the government does wrong, we have a moral responsibility to admit it. The duty we owe to one another to tell the truth and to protect our fellow citizens from excesses like these is one we can never walk away from. Our government failed in that duty, and it offers an apology to the survivors and their families, and to all the American people who must be able to rely upon the United States to keep its word, to tell the truth, and to do the right thing. Make no mistake, as the committee report says, there are circumstances where compensation is appropriate as a matter of ethics and principle. I am committed to seeing to it that the United States of America lives up to its responsibility. Our greatness is measured not only in how we so frequently do right, but also how we act when we know we've done the wrong thing, how we confront our mistakes, make our apologies, and take action. That's why this morning I signed an executive order instructing every arm and agency of our government that conducts, supports, or regulates research involving human beings to review immediately their procedures in light of the recommendations of this report and the best knowledge and standards available today, and to report back to me by Christmas.
My name is Shelley Carter. I'm the mom of a trafficking, MK Ultra, and satanic ritual abuse survivor named Allie Carter. I'm disgusted with the mishandling of Congress's congressional hearing on June 30th regarding MK Ultra programming. I would expect our elected leaders to take it a bit more seriously about the crimes against humanity that are happening on American soil and have been for decades. Because they chose to regurgitate old information and to gaslight the American public, I'm calling myself virtually to the floor of Congress. My name is Shelley Ray Carter. I solemnly swear that the truth that I'm about to tell is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. To be considered an expert in any field or subject, you have to spend 10 years or 10,000 hours at work in that subject, learning about it, first-hand experience, etc. By that criteria, I am considered an expert in the field of MK Ultra and weaponized DID and American MK Ultra. I have spent greater than 10 years and greater than 10,000 hours face-to-face dealing with Allie's MK Ultra, her satanic ritual abuse, and her DID. I also hold a master's in psychology, and I could also be considered, if we were in a court of law, I could be considered a first-hand witness from the things that I've witnessed and experienced myself through her, about her MK Ultra and her DID.
I love your work. So it's like, all these heavyweights, a Stiller, or Jack Black, or a Junior. Everybody at the end is like, hey, hey, happy to be here, guys. And so I was pointing at it. And then Tom Cruise walks in. And even those guys are like, well, he's super. He's there. Like, yeah, oh. He was immediately excited. when he walks in the room, and he's like trying to place me, you know, like I love your work. Oh, thanks. I love your work too. Seth Rogen was like, you know, it was amazing. He has like a bike track in his backyard.
Good morning.
Get leadership ready with a master's in healthcare minute.
We got an ad. Stand by, we have an ad. I do not own rights to this content or this footage. This is for entertainment purposes only.
The focus of the congressional hearing on June 30th was for Nazi-era MK-Ultra. Nazi-era MK-Ultra is old and it's archaic, and it was a failed experiment. MK-Ultra was perfected and it flourished when the United States of America brought 1,600 mad scientists onto our soil and gave them free rein to run their experiments and do their evil. The Nazi Germany formula for their MK-Ultra was to use LSD on grown men to trigger a hallucination that they were hoping to program, or write a script over top of that hallucination. That was a failed experiment because, number one, hallucinations are hard to have a baseline. Sometimes you might be able to induce hallucinations in somebody that might be colorful and bright and cheery, and other times they are dark and evil and scary. So it was very difficult to create a baseline in hallucinations. As any evil scientist would know, you need a baseline so you can recreate your evil. And that wasn't the case with Nazi Germany MK-Ultra. Another reason Germany MK-Ultra was problematic is that they were using grown men. Grown men usually have their mind set up, they have life experiences, and it's really hard to overwrite a script or a program or steal their free will when they already have set patterns and set beliefs in place. When the US government brought those 1,600 scientists onto our soil and gave them free rein, they used that same formula to program, to use American MK-Ultra programming. However, they changed the variables. Instead of using LSD, they figured out that they could use trauma, satanic ritual abuse, and torture to create the same effect. And instead of using adult or grown men, they learned that they could use children who had little to no life experience, nothing to draw on, no set personality in place, that they could split their psyche with the trauma and the torture and create a blank slate where they could write a whole program on. This created the baseline that they were looking for, that they could repeat en masse, and they did. And American MK-Ultra has flourished in the United States ever since. American MK-Ultra is weaponized dissociative identity disorder. It's
This deep, and you would have to really listen and pay attention to understand Miss Shelley.
which also is known as multiple personality disorder. They learned how to create dissociative identity disorder and weaponize it, and it's called MK-Ultra. It's done here on American soil. It's been being done for decades on American soil. There are tens of millions of survivors of all ages on our soil, and it's continuing to be done today. American MK-Ultra links directly to child sex trafficking, child slavery, and by its very definition is crimes against humanity. American MK-Ultra programming also links directly to Congress and the Office of the President. Codes are held by members of Congress to trigger MK-Ultra survivors. Codes are held by the Office of the President to trigger MK-Ultra survivors. our government, and our military are complicit in crimes against humanity on American soil.
Complicit. You heard that?
I'm calling for the resignation of every member of Congress who refuses to address the crimes against humanity, who refuses to do a full investigation, who refuses to make arrests and do what needs to be done to put a stop to this evil in our country and the evil against our children. Representative Burleson, you were concerned about the bread being poisoned and inciting hallucinations for the Nazi Germany era MK Ultra. I want to know why you're not concerned with the MK Ultra that's being done on American soil. Why are you not asking how the DID was weaponized? Why are you not looking to see the size of the MK Ultra army that was created on American soil and the number of children that were used and disposed of? Representative Mace, you asked the men, O'Neill and Kinzer, what was the worst thing they witnessed in the commission of MK Ultra from Nazi Germany? I can give you a first-hand account of the most horrific things that I've witnessed Allie go through. One was a flashback where she was being split, where her psyche was being split after trauma and torture done to her body. She screamed in pain. It looked like somebody reached into her heart and pulled her soul from her body. That's what splitting looks like. That's what MK Ultra looks like. In addition to that, 4 of Allie's altars were nearly drowned in a near-death drowning experience because they were using it in the commission of MK Ultra. They were trying to weaponize DID. They were trying to cause enough pain, trauma, and torture in her psyche that it would split so the programmers doing the drowning could find that clean slate of a new altar and write a script over it. Rep. Luna, you asked if Ruby was an MK Ultra asset. Again, you were focusing on German MK Ultra. I'm worried about the American MK Ultra that's happening on our soil. Those are 2 different things. Germany can worry about Germany's problems, and we need to worry about our problems. But by the patterns that I've seen, evil follows patterns. Yes, they probably were MK Ultra assets. They fit the patterns. It was stated that Jolly West and Ruby both had a psychotic break, that Jolly West did not recognize his wife, even though there was no drug-induced super that he could account for the reason why he didn't recognize his wife, but everything that you said fits DID. It fits weaponized DID, dissociative identity disorder. That's what happens in the commission of MK Ultra. Representative Boebert, you were asking how MK Ultra was funded. Slush funds, fraud. We're uncovering tons of fraud in the United States of America. MK Ultra hid behind those. You also said that MK Ultra ended in 1973. In 1973, MK Ultra went underground and continued to flourish. In 1974, CPS was created. CPS required funding. CPS also provided an endless supply of test subjects in the form of children. Representative Perry, you asked about the ages of the children that were being used. O'Neill told you they were probably, likely, maybe, possibly older teens. I'm going to call bullshit on that. The MK Ultra that's done in America, that's been done on American soil, uses children, the younger the better. They use infants, they use newborns, because the programming holds better. They're able to write a better script that is unshakable and unable to be broken. American MK Ultra has also been used on the masses. It was used during 9/11. It was used during COVID. So these crimes against humanity touch every living human being in the United States of America and abroad. With all disrespect to every seated member of Congress, I see no urgency in you. I see no seriousness in you about solving this problem, about addressing the crimes against humanity, about doing the research. I see gaslighting and games, and I'm about sick of it.
Okay, for those interested, I will be playing the second part later this evening. Look for it. Have a blessed day.